MC Press Online presents Video Tutorials with Joe Pluta. Video Tutorial Volume 1, WDSC Basics. Tutorial number 4, using the Remote Systems Explorer view to set up your work session. In our previous tutorial, we learned how to open a member. Next, I'm going to show you how to set up your environment. I'll show you how I would start a brand new project, complete with creating a library and copying a source file into it. You'll create a new library, copy the proof source file from QGPL into your new library, and then add that library to your library list. You should have already started up WDSC using the workspace that you've been using for the tutorials up until this point. Your workbench should look like what you see on the screen. Eye edit perspective showing on the upper right, fast view toolbar on the lower left with some fast view icons, and the remote systems details. You may have some files open from last time, some source files. If so, simply hit File, Close All to make them go away. Alright, let's create a library. To do that, first we need to expand the Remote Systems Explorer view. Open it up by clicking on its fast view icon. At this point in time, the connection, PBD host, should already be expanded. If not, just click on the plus sign to expand it. Now we'll create the library by right-clicking on the iSeries objects and selecting New Library from the context menu. At this point, we type in the library name. I'm going to use PBDTUT. And at this point, it's up to you whether or not you want to make it a test library and whether or not you want to add some additional text, such as PBD Tutorial Library. Hit Finish. You will be prompted for your user ID and password if you're not already connected, and then hit OK. The system will connect and the library will be created. Not only that, but at the end, a filter will be created for that library and placed at the bottom of your iSeries objects. And there you can see, there's the filter, PBD Library, and there is the actual library entry itself. At this point, you can now copy the source file. I'm going to assume that QGPL is in your library list. If it's not, you'll have to select a source file from another library. At this point in time, though, I will start with QGPL. Let's expand QGPL and now roll down to look for the file. I'm going to copy the file QRPG-LE source. To do that, I simply right-click on QRPG-LE source and say Copy. That puts it into the clipboard, and now I need to find a place to paste it. So I roll all the way down to the bottom of my Remote Systems Explorer where that newly created filter resides, and I right-click and paste, but I can't paste it to the filter. I can only paste it to the library itself. So I say right-click on the library and paste, and that will execute a create dupe obj. And if I were to expand the library at this point, we would see that indeed the QRPG-LE source member is there, and the member that we wanted is in the source file, which is in the library. At this point, PBDTUT is not in your library list though. And while the proof program doesn't need any files, if we had a program that did need files, we might want to add the library to our library list. To do that, I'm going to roll back up to the top. I'm going to collapse the QGPL library to get it out of the way. And now you'll see our library list, and at this point in time I can right-click on the library list and say Add Library List Entry, or I can right-click on the PBDTUT library and select the Add to Library List option. I'll select that, and you will see that PBDTUT is already filled in, and then I can also choose where to place it in the library list, and now I hit OK. And you'll see now that PBDTUT is in my library list. Please note that, as usual, there are many ways to do this. For example, you could have entered the commands in directly by choosing the Run Command option. Right-click on iSeries Objects and you'll see Run Command. Another way to do this is to expand the iSeries Commands entry in the list, and you will see that there are a number of predefined commands, including things like creating libraries, creating duplicate objects, adding libraries to the library list. However, I wanted you to get comfortable with the idea of pointing and clicking and copying and pasting using the clipboard, because that will be available throughout WDSC. That's it for this tutorial. In the next installment, I'll show you how to compile and set up breakpoints. Thanks. This has been an MC Press Online production. This has been a Pluta Brothers design tutorial.